So did you guys watch Monday's video where I said this? Another date to keep on your calendar is going to be April 6th. That's this Thursday, actually. Expect a popular media company to go in and release an exclusive Project Scorpio gameplay for Forza Motorsport 7. Well, it's now Thursday, and the guys over at Eurogamer and Digital Foundry were invited out to Redmond, Washington to see Microsoft and check out Project Scorpio, and oh my god, it was pretty cool. So all they had basically were some specs and some things like that. I'm not going to go too much into detail about them, but if you would like to check out everything you need to know about everything that was announced today for Project Scorpio, I'll have some links in the description that will probably assist you in some way. So if we rewind the clock a little bit, first-party developers for Microsoft, so the people who make, say, Halo, or Gears of War, or in my particular case, Forza, they got their Scorpios, their Project Scorpios with all the specs and stuff like that, a couple of months ago so they could start working on their next game. And when the guys over at Turn 10 saw the specs of Project Scorpio, they were absolutely blown away by them. As soon as they received their unit, they actually got working on getting Forza and the Forza Tech engine running on Project Scorpio. And it actually took them only 2 days to get it running. And that's really cool, but the even more interesting part than that is that without changing anything, they were able to get the Forza Tech engine, Forza Motorsport 7, I'll come to that in a little bit, running at 4K, 60 frames per second, without changing a single thing. And once again, that's pretty crazy. However, something even crazier than that actually, is it's only using between 50 to 70% of Project Scorpio's power, which is just insane. Like, again, if we rewind the clocks a little bit, when we first heard about Project Scorpio, we were like, okay, Forza's a pretty intensive game. It basically maxes out the Xbox One console and actually sometimes dips below 50 or 60 FPS. So Project Scorpio pumping out 4K images all at 60 FPS is going to be pretty difficult, right? They were able to do it with half the power. What? Oh, also, I totally forgot to mention, if you don't know what Forza Tech is, it's basically the driving force behind Forza. It was produced by Turn 10 and Playground Games, and basically was introduced for Forza Motorsport 5 on the Xbox One, so it is basically the engine behind Forza, the driving force behind it, which makes the entire game possible. So yeah, this new Forza Tech demo, like I said, I'll get to that in a little bit. It does stay within 50 to 70% of this Project Scorpio's power, which introduces a couple of interesting topics. For instance, that will give them some wiggle room to go in and bump up, say the amount of cars on track, or introduce things like dynamic weather. They could, like, fill the environment with a bunch of trees, if they so chose to use Project Scorpio's power like that. But you sort of get what I'm saying. It has the power to go in and just produce some crazy numbers and just push it all through the console. So what does this all mean for Forza Motorsport 7 exactly? Well, I think we can all agree that 1, this game's gonna be running in 4K 60 frames per second. In this screenshot, that was the only screenshot released from basically Project Scorpio, I believe, was that it was in 4K 60 FPS, and it's using basically 66% of the power for this screenshot alone, which is nothing. They also said that in this screenshot, you can see the maximum number of cars allowed on track. And I mean, I tried to count them all, but you can't really. So I would say it's between 20 and 24. I would just imagine it's 24 again, if I'm honest. If you try to count them all the way down the line, probably 24 cars on track. Speaking of the cars, actually, is they're already modeled in 4K, which is really nice, so there's no extra work there. Awesome stuff. And now let's jump into the interesting thing, the whole purpose for this video, probably. So the Digital Foundry guys came out and they said, this is Forza Tech demo, basically running Forza Motorsport 6. However, it's 100% not Forza Motorsport 6. Try to go into your Forza Motorsport 6 game and make it look like this. Try to do that. You won't be able to. This time of day, with these reflections, isn't in Forza 6. It doesn't exist. In Forza 6, you either have a bright sunny day, which looks like this, or you have a cloudy day with rain, which looks like this. So once again, I think we can all agree that this is definitely not Forza Motorsport 6, and I sort of have a personal opinion that I feel like Digital Foundry was sort of hesitant to say that this is Forza Motorsport 7 just because Xbox probably wants to officially announce it at E3 or something like that. So expect an official Forza Motorsport 7 announcement at E3, However, this is probably, I would say 99% sure, what Forza Motorsport 7 is going to look like. So, let's talk about this huge sky that tells us it's basically not Forza Motorsport 6. So, let's rewind the clocks again. At E3, I was invited out last year, and I got a chance to speak with a lot of the developers on Forza Horizon 3 and some of the people who worked on the game. For instance, one of the things that they were super, super happy about was they sent a dude out into the middle of Australia with some crazy camera rig that was custom built that could shoot 12K photos. And basically for that, they took those photos and used them to make the sky in Forza Horizon. That's why the sky in Forza Horizon looks the way it does. It looks awesome. The sky in this game, I don't want to say it's completely copy-pasted over from Forza Horizon 3, but it does look pretty goddamn similar. So what else can we tell from this screenshot? Not much other than dynamic weather, basically. Probably. I mean, even saying dynamic weather, you can't really tell that. It's just a screenshot, right? But you can sort of see how the ground is soaking wet. The cars are completely dry, and the clouds, like, sort of, kind of like they're moving. So, remember in this video, actually, the Forza Motorsport 7 wishlist video, where I said this, what about clear? Overcast, so it's just got some clouds in the sky. Rain, heavy rain, you see that in my F1 series every now and again. Post-rain, so it's just sort of started to clear up a bit, and the track's a little wet, but you can see the blue sky a bit. Well, it sort of seems like that's gonna be a thing, too. So it all seems super, super interesting. I am super pumped for Project Scorpio. If I must say, my only problem with the console itself right now is, as a part of the specs, they released the size of the possible hard drive. Why was that so hard to say? Anyways, the hard drive size for Project Scorpio, for whatever reason, is 1 terabyte. And to be honest, I think someone spending this type of money on a console, we don't actually know a price just yet, but it's gonna be pretty hefty. The price, probably around $500 or $600, is my guesstimation. I would expect if you're paying that much for a console, you probably wouldn't mind spending a little bit more money on a bigger hard drive so you don't have to have some dumb, ugly external hard drive plugged in. I don't know if that's just me, but that's the way I would be. So yeah, that's about it. If you'd like any more information on Project Scorpio, Forza Motorsport 7, subscribe to the channel, check out the website. Seriously, there is going to be so much stuff coming out. Basically from now all the way up until launch of Project Scorpio, it is going to be very, very interesting. I'm going to try to get my hands on one as soon as possible. For the Xbox One S, I had one of those basically at launch, unboxed the thing, played around with it. I hope to do the same for Project Scorpio, so hopefully you guys stick around. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!